Welcome to the Soulversation Radio Network with your host, Dr. Carla Goddard. Past life regression is a fascinating aspect of hypnosis. It allows us to experience past lives and experience them in a safe manner. Whether that past life is the physical life that we're living now or past lives that we've lived prior to this physical life. So I want to begin this with having you lower yourself back in a chair and begin to relax. And I want you to remember that when we do any of these types of recordings, you are totally 100% in control. If you find that you need to awaken because of an emergency, you will do so fully and easily. And please do not use these recordings while operating machinery or driving a vehicle. Okay, what I would like you to do now is just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and hold it. Make yourself comfortable. And while you are in this trance, in this hypnotic space, if you want to move, that's okay. You don't have to feel that you must stay in one position. If you want to scratch your nose or whatever, that's okay. Just allow yourself to be comfortable. So take a deep breath and hold it. And then, when you let it go, let all of your tension you can go. Just let it go. That's good. Now take another deep breath and hold it. And this time, let go of all the tension in your shoulders and in your arms. And just let that go. That's good. Now take a third deep breath and hold it. And as you let it go this time, just really relax. Just allow yourself to completely relax. Now just resume your breathing normally as you would every day. And as you breathe, just become aware of your breath going in and out of your nose and going down your throat and how comfortable you can feel just being aware of that breath. And with every breath out, you become more relaxed, more at ease, and more comfortable. Just allow your breathing to slow down. Relax more, slowly. And now just allow your eyes to close when you're ready. When you are feeling nicely relaxed. And with every breath out, you can say to yourself, you can hear a voice in your head saying, more and more relaxed. Deeper and deeper. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to think. You don't have to listen. You don't have to do anything except allow yourself to lie relaxed, feeling warm and relaxed and comfortable. And just become aware of the feeling against your back, in your head, and how comfortable that can be. And then maybe you can become aware of the fabric under your fingertips. And you can think about that as you go deeper and deeper. And as you are lying back, breathing gently, becoming aware of the chair or the bed behind you, and the sound of my voice, and the part of your mind that is wondering whether you are going into a trance, while another part of your mind is aware that you are already going into trance. And you can go into trance, and you can relax. And part of you can stay aware if you want to, and the other part can allow itself to go deeply and deeply into trance, deeply relaxed. And every breath is still making you more and more relaxed, deeper and deeper. And you can just let yourself go. And you feel yourself supported in that chair or on that bed. And I wonder if you can imagine yourself sinking deeper into that chair, being supported, safe and warm. And just feel yourself going down and down, down and down. And just feel yourself as if you're lying on a big fluffy blanket, warm and safe, and feeling really good about yourself. And going deeper and deeper. And just as you imagine yourself sinking into a big fluffy mattress, with every breath you sink deeper into it, more and more relaxed. And that's very good to do. And I wonder if you can imagine a big old house somewhere, and it's got doors and windows and a fence, and maybe there's trees. And in that house, generations of people have grown and go on. And the house has seen parties and weddings and christenings and funerals. And there's been meals and fights and laughs, candles and Christmas trees and Easter eggs. And children are running around laughing. And people are coming home and going out. And it's a happy house. And inside that house, there's a staircase. And that staircase can be wooden or carpeted or marble, anything you want. And there can be a handrail, and you can go down that staircase, because at the bottom there's a door. And behind that door is something wonderful. And you can begin to go down those stairs now, and we will count them down together. So 10, going down the first step, and 9, down again, and 8, more relaxed, and 7, more relaxed, and 6, feeling completely relaxed, and 5, deeper and deeper, and each step is taking you deeper down, and 3, deeper and deeper, and 2, nearly there, and 1, nearly at the bottom, and after 1, there's 0, nothing in the center of that 0. It's like a warm velvety blackness. And you can feel yourself going deeply into that warm, safe, velvety blackness, feeling of nothing, total release, floating. And you can feel yourself drifting down, like a leaf carried by the wind, drifting left and right and right and left, down and down, floating and swirling, round and round, down and down. And you don't have to think. You don't have to do anything. And any thoughts that come into your mind, you can just watch them wander away. They are not important. Nothing is important at this moment. And my voice can be the voice of a teacher, or a parent, or a great-grandparent. My voice can be the sound of the wind in the winter long ago, or the rain against a window in a far-off place on a dark night. And my voice can be the sound of a leaf blowing across an empty street. And my voice can become anything you want it to be. And now, I would like you to find yourself in front of a door. And when you are in front of that door and you are ready to go on, I want you to imagine what color that door is. Is it white, perhaps? With a round white knob, just hanging in the black with no wall. And the door seems to open inwards. And now I want you to reach up and open that door and ask yourself, can I go through that door? And when you're ready, I would like you to step up to that open door now and go through it. And when you go through that door, you find yourself in a large room. And in this room, there's hundreds and hundreds of people. In this room, there's everyone you know and like, and everyone who knows and likes you, and everyone who has loved you, and everyone that you love is in this room. There are people who you meet every day, and there are people you have not seen for a very long time. And there are people there who have passed away. And when you turn into that room, they all turn around and stop what they're doing. They've been having sort of a party. They've been talking and eating and drinking. And they stop and they look around and they all smile. And they begin to applaud. And you can see them clapping and you can hear the sounds. And you can feel their pleasure, and they're all smiling, and they begin to come forward, and they put their arms around you, and some hug and kiss you, and you feel so good. You have such a feeling of warmth and acceptance that all of these people love you for who you are, and this is the place where you can feel completely safe, totally accepted, and supported by family and friends and all the other things. And even just thinking about this place makes you feel good inside. It's a place where you can be anything you want to be and be accepted just for that. Where you can do anything you want to do and you will be accepted and supported. And that's a good thing, isn't it? And now I would like you to thank those people and just send out love to them in any way you can. And make your way to another door, the door to the outside. And you can stop and turn around and look at all those people and know that they're there to support you. And you wave and they wave back. And they go back to talking and eating as you go out through that door and you find yourself on a gravel path. And as you walk up this path, you can feel the stones under your feet. You can hear the crunch of gravel, and there's a breeze blowing along, off a river perhaps. And you can sense the water. And as you continue on, the path goes left and right and right and left. And as you end up by the riverside, you see a jetty, and there's a boat tied up there. And in that boat there are large cushions. And as you climb into the boat and lie down on the cushions, and as you lie there, the sun comes out, and a gentle breeze ripples the smooth water, and you can smell the country air. And you lie in the boat. You feel a gentle rocking that makes you feel safe and relaxed, and you begin to drift. And maybe it's real, and maybe it's just a feeling. It feels like the boat starts to go gently downstream, and as it goes, you can feel yourself getting lighter, somehow. And the more that the boat goes downstream, you're getting smaller, and you can feel your arms and legs getting smaller, And you can feel yourself changing, getting younger and younger. And as the boat drifts into the bank of a river and comes to a stop, it comes to a stop at a time when you were perhaps 11 or 12. And on the bank of the river you can see a happy scene. You can see a time when you were really enjoying yourself at that age. Sometime around 12, 11, 13, something like that. And you can watch yourself enjoying that scene. And you can see that scene right now. Perhaps you can see just you there going for a run, returning back to a class, and there's lots of people and a teacher. Okay, let your mind clear and let the boat drift away again. And the boat drifts down, and once again it bumps gently into the bank. This time it's further back. This time you were 3, 4, or 5. And once again you have a happy scene, and you can see that scene. And it's time when you are a happy, happy child, really enjoying things. I don't know what it is, but can you see it? Perhaps you were in kindergarten, playing with Play-Doh, with other kids. Perhaps the room is blue. Perhaps there's water outside, and the green grass holds a seesaw under the blue sky. And you're very, very happy, just being a child. Now allow your mind to clear again. And I want you to take a moment and really allow your mind to clear and relax. And return to just noticing your breathing. And just be aware of that gentle air going in and out. And how that makes you feel so relaxed. And you can forget about everything else. And the only thing you need to do is listen to the sound of my voice. Everything else is irrelevant. And begin now and take a few moments to really enjoy that wonderful feeling of total relaxation and bliss. And allow your mind to wander far and wide for it to connect to. And you can enjoy the colors and shapes and sizes of anything you want. And you might be surprised at the wonderful things that come up. But just take a moment to enjoy them. And now the boat begins to drift again. And that boat turns around and begins to drift backwards. And you can look over the side of the boat. And in your mind, you can imagine there's some part of you going down deep into that water. Looking down into that fresh, clear, crystal water. Seeing deeper and deeper. Going back and back. Back to a time when you were born. You can go back to before you were born. So if you leave the boat and allow your mind to go back, down deep into that dark water, you will be going back to a time before you were born. Now allow your mind to go back, and you can feel yourself drifting down and down, being carried in that transparent water, totally weightless, drifting this way and that. And it appears in your mind there's a scene. And in that scene there's a bridge. And halfway across that bridge there's a mist, a fog, a cloud. And you can go on that bridge, and you can go across that bridge. And as you go across that bridge, you go into the mist, that fog, and it swirls around you. And all you can see is mist. And you find yourself floating with the mist. Like the mist. Part of the mist. And inside that mist you will feel pulled in one particular direction. And you can choose one direction to go. And when that mist clears, you will see a scene from another time. another place. So right now I would like you to choose the direction that seems right to you and find yourself in another time and another place. And when you are ready, when you are back in the past, simply say yes. Perhaps you are outdoors at dusk, and you can see animals, tables, chairs, fire. It's quiet. And you can notice what you're wearing. Look at your feet. And notice what are on them. And how are you dressed? And what are you doing? What's going on around you? Notice everything. Notice the scenery. Notice if there's any books with writing. Notice how old you are. Notice if there's any buildings around. Perhaps castles. Notice what's happening next. Watch as though you are watching a movie. You are completely safe in watching. Perhaps they're down by a path. Notice what might be special about this day or this time. And there's no one in this place that can hurt you. You are completely safe in watching all that is going on. And now I would like your mind to go on to another time, perhaps later on in your life, to some really important event in the life that you're watching. And now I want you to notice in this event, whether you're indoors or outdoors, whether it's day or night, whether there's other people around. Notice their faces, their dress. Notice how you feel as you watch this scene, this very important scene in your life. Now I would like you to move forward in a time again in that same lifetime. Slowly moving forward until the day comes when you're going to die in this lifetime. And watch to see what is going on. Who is there? What can you learn from the people that are around you? Now I'd like you to allow the person who is there to become aware of your presence, because that person has asked you to be here, and that person has asked you to be there for a reason, and you can learn from that person's life. Now I don't know if this person has a message for you, or a lesson, or some skill you can have, but you have been called here for a reason. So now I would like you to get in touch with the essence, the soul, the mana, whatever word you understand, to really take from that life whatever that person wants to give you. And it could be a message, it could be a story or a memory, I don't know, it could be anything. And you can keep that to yourself a secret, or you can choose to tell yourself later, or someone else. But for the moment, I want you to spend some time just getting that message or lesson or whatever, and looking back over the short life, and understand what you need to be told or learn or understand. And when you have done that, you don't need to say anything. You can choose to remember it fully and completely, or you can choose to just take it internally. And now take a deep breath and allow your mind to clear. And you find yourself back in the mist, in that cloud. And once again, you are floating around. And you can go anywhere you want, be anyone you want, see anything that you want. And you've already been to one life. Do you want to go back into the mist and contact another life? Are you being called to another place? Allow yourself to drift in the mist until you find the mist clears for you. And once again, you see another scene. And when that scene appears for you, you can begin to see what you were doing and what's going on. And notice what's happening and how old you are and where you're going. And perhaps this time you are crossing a river and there's a man with you with long hair, and he's going to cross the river first. He's got a blanket over his shoulder and he's strong. He's big, and he's crossing the river first, and he's helping you cross the river. And now notice everything that's going around. All the people, or the animals. And know that you have with you a guide. And allow the scene to fade. The scene fades away, and you know you can move on in that life. And you have a very special guide with you this time. And you can move on in that life to a time when something else really important happened in that life. Something that you can take a lesson from. And your guide is with you, showing you exactly what it is that you need to see. Notice how old you are and what is going on with you. And allow the scene to clear again. Allow your mind to clear and drift forward into the time, in that same lifetime. And you're floating above it somehow, seeing what's going on, but still able to understand and communicate while you're out there, knowing that your guide is here, knowing that your guide is protecting you. And once again, there's a reason for you touching this life. You can learn what was learned long ago from this life. Maybe there's a skill or a message or something else that you're supposed to gain from this life. Because whenever you touch another life, you always get a gift. That's your reward for being there, for helping them share, for joining them in giving the gift of life. And that gift can be anything. And you will know what it is, and you can accept that gift and take it with you as you move on. And now I want you to pause. I want you to pause and look back on that life and be glad that you have lived it. As you stand and join with that life, learning the lesson or the skill or gaining an idea. And once again, that life will be grateful for your visit. You give a gift to yourself from this past life to take away with you. And you can go with this life as it ends, and you can watch and be there, and you can follow. And now you go along with that life after life has left the body, and for just a few moments, you're given the gift of experiencing what it is to be between lives. And I wonder if you can experience that now. And as you experience that now, feel the light, the warmth, the colors changing purple, blue, white, joining together. There's lakes and moving sky. Your guides holding your hand, talking to you, happy to see you again. Telling you you have done well. Even as you're trying to get away from yourself in this moment, your guide is holding your hand, telling you how brave you are, how courageous. Surrounding you, bringing you to a middle of a gathering as others are putting their hands on you. It's a circle. In the middle of the circle there's a light, and this glowing light fills you. And the ring of people, all can reach you. There's about 10, and you're all glowing. And outside of them, there's another ring. And another ring. And it's all light. And it's all the people who stand behind you between the lives, between the breaths, supporting you, accepting you for who you are. And when you're ready to step back into this life, knowing you can return to this between the breaths, to this circle of life where you are accepted and fully supported and fully loved at any time. I want you to allow your mind to begin to clear again. Just allow your mind to totally clear. And in a moment, I want you to feel someone touching your forehead. And that touch is just to indicate that it is time to come back to the here and now. And as your guide touches you on your forehead, you'll be back in that place where the mist and the fog is. And now feel him touch your forehead now. Go back to that place where the mist and the fog is. And from there you can go safely and securely back up through that crystal water and back up to the boat. And you find yourself lying in that wonderful, comfortable boat. And you're lying on the cushions. And you drift out into the sunshine. And you find yourself drifting along, being carried by the current, until you find yourself once again at that jetty. And the boat nudges in there. And you tie it onto the jetty and jump out, glancing back at the boat, knowing it's available now for you to take a journey at any time you wish. You see the gravel path, and you hear your feet crunching on the gravel, and you can feel the gravel under your feet and under the trees. And as you walk away from the boat, you see the road up ahead. So you leave the gravel path, and you go on the road. And you start walking along the road, and you realize the road is one you walk along every day. This is your everyday road that leads to your house. And as you walk along, you can think of all the things that you talked about today with your guides, with your past lives. and all the things you experienced and remembered, and the lessons and the skills and the gifts that you received. Maybe you begin to wonder how to use those gifts. What would be best? Or maybe you will just keep them because you have touched other lives and they have touched yours, and you have a long life to live and many other things to do. And I think you can see your long life stretching ahead of you. See it as a life of happiness and success, a life of achievement, family and friends, a life where you look after yourself, eating healthy and exercising, a life where you take intelligent risks and get on and do things that no one ever thought you could, that you never thought you could. It's a wonderful life stretching endlessly before you like a long summer afternoon. And with that thought in mind, you can begin to come back to the present. And I'm going to count from 5 to 1. And when I get to 1, not yet, when I get to 1, you'll be back in the present feeling great and remembering everything that happened vividly. So beginning to count now, 5, 4, beginning to feel the feelings coming back into your toes and fingers. 3, getting ready for a big stretch and a smile. 2, eyelids fluttering, head moving, face laughing and smiling, ready to come back. 1, eyes open, back to the present. I hope you have enjoyed this recording.